In the end, nothing will ever be perfect, and there will always be times when we're challenged by Mother Nature. But we learned an extraordinary amount 3.5 years ago. I want to point out to people once again that in Mississippi, in Louisiana, they are still recovering from Katrina. They still have entire neighborhoods that are empty. They still have infrastructure that's not rebuilt. And 3.5 years after the second worst natural disaster in American history, New Jersey is rebuilt. We have almost all of our residents back into their homes 3.5 years after 365,000 homes were destroyed in a 24-hour period. We have infrastructure not only rebuilt and operating, that's an old story, that's been happening for years, but now you're seeing the outgrowth of it, where we're making ourselves better and stronger post-Sandy than we were before. This is a record that folks will look back on and see that doing that in 3.5 years is extraordinary when compared to the most comparable storm we had in this country, which is Katrina, which a decade later, much of what we've already done here in New Jersey in 3.5 years is still not done in Mississippi and Louisiana. So we couldn't do that without partners in the legislature, without partners in the executive branch, but also without our partners in the private sector. So Ralph, thank you for providing the leadership at PSE&G that made it possible to do these things. Thanks to our friends in the trade unions, who their men and women have stood up, not only as victims of Sandy, as many of them were, but they got back right to work because they knew that helping to rebuild what they were helping to rebuild were going to help themselves and their neighbors and their friends as well. And to thank all of our friends in the construction business who continue to stand ready to work with a willing government to be able to build greater infrastructure in the state and to make the state the envy of others who have gone through some of the challenges we've gone through and recovered very, very well. So, Ralph, thank you very much for inviting me here today. It's great to see projects started and projects completed, and I look forward to seeing this one done in a couple of years. Thank you all for coming.